The Call That Never Finished, a true American mystery. If I told you that one phone call in 1928 left behind a mystery that historians still argue about today, one that involved a disappearing scientist, a secret government file, and a voice recorded 20 years before the technology officially existed, you might think it's fiction. But this story is real. In the fall of 1928, the American Telephone and Telegraph Company, AT&T, was quietly running experimental long-distance sound transmission tests in Chicago. These tests were highly confidential because the company was researching something far ahead of its time: two-way radio-telephone communication, the earliest ancestor of what would become mobile networks. Only 7 engineers were assigned to the project, and all of them later testified that nothing about this night made sense. On October 12, 1928, during a routine signal tracer test at 11:47 p.m., the headset in the control room suddenly picked up an unexpected broadcast. The system wasn't connected to any external live line at that moment. The engineers were simply checking for signal noise. But what they heard wasn't noise. It was a perfectly clear male voice, speaking rapidly, as if frightened. The voice said, "Please, listen. If anyone hears this, I don't know how long the channel will stay open. My name is Richard Henley. I am in New York, and something has gone terribly wrong. They know what I discovered. I didn't travel here. I was pulled here. Tell my wife, tell her I didn't run." Then the line cut with a violent crack that the engineers later described as sounding like metal folding inward. No one in the room spoke for nearly a minute. The entire event lasted less than 20 seconds. AT&T's security division ordered a full investigation the following morning. Because the voice mentioned being pulled somewhere and referenced a discovery, investigators assumed the call was connected to illegal radio experiments or foreign interference. They traced every transmission line within a 200-mile radius. Nothing matched. There was no known device in the United States capable of transmitting that kind of signal onto a closed internal line. Then came the strangest discovery of all. A week later, a Washington archivist contacted AT&T after recognizing the name Richard Henley from the report. There had indeed been a man by that name, Dr. Richard Henley, a theoretical physicist at Columbia University. He had disappeared without a trace in 1908, 20 years before the mysterious message. His last known research was on something he called temporal resonance fields, a fringe idea that suggested under certain conditions, electromagnetic waves might interact with time itself. Henley had been dismissed by the scientific community as eccentric. After he vanished, his wife insisted he had been taken by the very experiment he feared. No body was ever found. The case remained open but cold. So how did a missing physicist, gone for 20 years, speak into a 1928 telephone system? AT&T engineers analyzed the recording hundreds of times. Every expert confirmed the same thing. The voice was authentic. The signal characteristics matched no known radio interference, and the emotional distress in the voice was unmistakably real. When the transcript reached federal officials, they classified the entire file under restricted archives. Several of the engineers later reported that government agents visited their homes and instructed them never to discuss the event again. But the strangest part came decades later. In 1956, a retired AT&T employee named Charles Bowen, one of the original 7 engineers, broke silence during an interview. He explained that the message had only been the first half of the transmission. There had been more. The second half, which the company buried immediately, contained a chilling final sentence, one the public never heard. "Whoever finds this, you are next." They move forward in time, not backward. Bowen died only 3 months after giving the interview. The full transcript has still never been declassified. Historians continue to debate whether the call was an electrical anomaly, a hoax, or something else entirely. But researchers who have reviewed the surviving notes all agree on one thing: the recording existed, the voice existed, and the man who spoke it disappeared long before the telephone that captured his message was even invented. To this day, the call that never finished remains one of the most unsettling mysteries in American scientific history, one that suggests our past may not be as far behind us as we think, and our future may already be reaching back.